Welcome to the Why Did I Get Cancer podcast. I'm Deborah Herlax-Enos, a small-town girl turned TV nutritionist and healthy living expert. I design health programs for the average guy or gal, including those average guys named Metallica. On September 1st, 2020, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I asked every oncologist the same question, why did I get cancer? But none of my doctors had good answers for me. I wanted answers, and that's why I started this podcast. I want to help you to lower your cancer risk and provide self-care tips for those in the battle. I'm getting answers, and I want to share them with you. Hey, I'm Deborah, and I wanted to tell you why I'm starting this podcast called Why Did I Get Cancer? I was just living my best life. I'm an on-camera, healthy living expert in Seattle, Washington. I was traveling throughout the country, giving wellness talks at companies all over the country. And then all of a sudden, fast forward to September 1st of 2020, when I got the phone call back that I had breast cancer. I was scared. I was confused. I was really worried. I didn't know my prognosis. And bottom line, I was angry. I was mad at my body. I was mad at the choices I'd made in my life, but my choices I thought were great and healthy choices. I ate healthy foods. I exercised. I meditated. I did all the things I thought I needed to do to make sure I never got cancer. And until this time, when I got diagnosed with cancer, I really didn't have that many people in my life who'd ever had cancer. I had no family history, and I didn't have a lot of friends who'd ever had cancer. So to me, it was shock. I really had a very steep learning curve. I kept asking this question, why did I get cancer? I asked every oncologist or every person on my team, why did I get cancer? And nobody really had a good answer for me. And most women will have about a 10 to 12, maybe even 14% risk of breast cancer. But still, I'd made all these healthy choices. So I started to think, okay, was it something in my external environment or my internal environment? So when I thought about my external environment, I thought, okay, I grew up on a farm. I was surrounded by a lot of farm chemicals for many years. Could that have contributed? I like to eat hamburgers. Did I eat too much red meat? Did I not eat enough vegetables? I can often be an erratic eater. I can skip meals and then end up eating too much in the evening. Did some of these things in my external environment turn tissues in my body into cancer? And then I started thinking about my internal environment. And what I mean by that is emotions and different things that have happened in my life. So I got a divorce years ago. Could it have been the stress from that? I was really sad when my dad passed away 5 years ago. I'm a type A person, so I just have a tendency to be a little bit more stressed than most people. Could it be things in my internal environment? Maybe I didn't manage stress well. Did stress contribute to me getting cancer? These are questions that I had that I just wasn't getting answers for. So all these questions really made me begin to wonder, was there something I could have done to prevent cancer? And that's where this podcast comes in. I interview expected experts and also unexpected experts. And what I mean by that is, yes, I'm going to be talking to oncologists, but I'm also going to be talking to a few outliers who might have some alternative health perspectives on why people are getting cancer. So I started this podcast for a couple reasons. One is I really wanted to try to understand, why did I get cancer? Because I would like to prevent it from ever coming back in my body, of course, but I also want to help you to prevent cancer. And number two is I wanted to turn my pain into purpose. And the best way I know is to try to help other people. Even when I was in the cancer battle, I was taking notes and I was thinking, how can I turn this to good? How can I help other people to avoid what I'm going through? And it wasn't just what I was going through, it was what my family was going through as well. Caregivers are at higher risk for all kinds of health issues because their stress levels are very, very high. So on this podcast, I'm not just talking about how to battle cancer and how to avoid cancer, but also how to support those who are in the battle with you, those caregivers. How can we support them and help them with their self-care and help them to lower their stress levels? So I was just on my knees one day, just saying, okay, God, I beat cancer. What's next? And I just really felt this feeling to go look up the website, whydidigetcancer.com. And I thought, well, that certainly has been my cry throughout cancer treatment is why did I get cancer? So I went to Google. I wrote in whydidigetcancer.com and nobody had purchased the URL. The website was still available. And that's when I knew, okay, I have a new mission. My mission is to talk to people and to interview people about cancer risk and how they can protect themselves from cancer. And if they do have cancer, how they can walk through it and still take care of themselves and still give support to their caregivers. I hope you'll join me for my 30-minute podcasts when I'm interviewing experts who talk about cancer, different types of cancer, cancer treatments, different things that the average person can do to help to mitigate their risk of getting this disease. I'm also going to be talking about things that maybe we don't think about with cancer treatment, increasing meditation, trying to sleep a little bit deeper and sleep a little bit better, getting outside in nature and what the impact of that can do for cancer treatment. And hey, I'm not a doctor. I am just that girl next door who ended up with breast cancer. But I know how to find experts who can help us all to navigate this journey of mitigating our cancer risk and trying to figure out not only why did I get cancer, but how can I avoid it ever coming back? I love wearing my wireless headphones. They're so convenient, but I am concerned about wearing them for too long. There are native EMFs, electromagnetic frequencies, that come from the sun or the earth, and then there are non-native, which come from cell phones, earbuds, electric blankets, just to name a few. I don't know about you, but I don't want high levels of EMFs around my body and certainly not my head. A few months ago, I saw an ad pop up on social media about a product called WaveBlock. This company created an anti-radiation sticker that deflects the majority of EMFs that are emitted by my earbuds. I was so intrigued that I actually called the owner of the company. We had a great conversation, and I asked him some tough questions about his product. I walked away won over by his enthusiasm and his story of why. When I asked him why he created this product, his answer was to protect his kids that were surrounded by EMFs all day long. I feel like I can now wear my WaveBlock protected earbuds all day since 95% of the EMFs are deflected. In today's show notes, I have a coupon for 20% off of WaveBlock. Use the code ENOS20 when you purchase your WaveBlock products. Thank you for joining me today on the Why Did I Get Cancer podcast. I've got my shopping guide for all of my cancer self-care items in the show notes, along with information about today's guest and our show sponsors. And don't forget to subscribe to my podcast so you never miss an episode. Keep in mind, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a gal that got diagnosed with cancer and wanted answers. If you need medical advice, please be sure to consult with a medical professional. And thank you for listening.